I vape. I like to announce my presence in a cloud of dry ice. Fucking cool. I don't know about you. How is everyone? Are we well? Give a hand to Barbara. Well done, Barbara. Well done, everyone. This has been an amazing night. An amazing night. Now, guys, I don't know if you remember this thing. It happened a couple of years ago. It was a kind of a craze. It kind of swept. Everyone was doing it. What's it called? Lockdown. Do you remember? Remember lockdown? Does anyone remember during lockdown, introverts got a bit uppity, right? You notice that? Like, no one could go anywhere. Everyone was stuck inside, and they were like, finally! Now we do the same fucking thing. Like, what are they trying to do? But no, I got a bit interested by them. I started seeing memes written by introverts, you know, saying things like, we're the quiet ones. You know, we'll never raise our voice at you. We'll always listen. The world would be a much nicer place if everybody was an introvert. I was like, pretty cool. So I went on Twitter. I wanted to find out more information. Turns out Twitter is the UFC for introverts. Yeah. Fucking knocking 7 bells out of anyone that crosses there. But I even got in a fight with an introvert, right? One of them said to me, extroverts are responsible for Trump. Touché. Touché. However, introverts are responsible for school shootings. So, swings and roundabouts, innit? Swings and roundabouts. Now, did anyone here get COVID? Yes. Thousands dead and a little bit of a clap. Woo! No, I got COVID, and did anyone here lose their sense of taste? One of you. All right, I wonder if you were anything like me, right? I lost my sense of taste when I got COVID, and I'll just wait for this conversation to stop. Can I get a beer if you're getting drinks? Yeah? No, I'm joking. So no, I got COVID, and I wonder if you, who lost your sense of taste, was anything like me, in the sense that I kept bloody forgetting. I couldn't taste anything, so I would spend hours agonising over seasoning a meal for no bloody reason, wasting paprika. Paprika, by the way, should be what you call people with this colour hair, because I have seen ginger and it is brown. Where the fuck did that come from? Why? Why? No, it's strange having ginger hair. Relatable material. It's strange. It's strange having ginger hair. It's the only hair colour in the world where there is a big difference between men and women, right? Because women with ginger hair, they get to be called redheads. Sexy. Whereas men with ginger hair, we get to be called Ed Sheeran. You know, don't get me wrong, right? Amazing role model. Amazing role model. Just not my choice for a model, you know? It's just not the poster boy I choose to represent me. To be honest, I don't even think it's his real name. I think that's just what his friends tell him when he gets back from a date. Ed, she ran. He's a millionaire. He'll survive. So my dad turned 69 a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I know, pretty sexy, right? I said that to him. I was like, oh, 69? Sexy? He was like, what is? I was like, you. He goes, oh, come off it, Sam. You're not supposed to find me sexually attractive. My dad he's a bit of a comedy treasure trove, is my dad. He's the gift that keeps on giving, which is ironic because he never remembers my birthday. No, we have a bit of a strange bond, we do. I'm the only ginger person in my entire family, right? My dad really did not want to have kids, so our relationship is suspicious. Business, you know. He's also very old-fashioned. He kind of expresses his love to me the way that you would react to seeing a stranger on the street approach you with a clipboard. It's like, don't have any fucking time for this. What are you doing? He used to shake my hand goodnight. I'm fine. Fucking hell. No, my dad, no, he never really wanted kids. He never really wanted kids. Still doesn't. He's a granddad now. He's never really wanted kids. And even when I was growing up in the flat with my sister, right, he didn't even like anything childlike in the flat, you know, like toys or Calpol, you know? And this all came to a head one day when my mum went out for a meal and left my dad to look after me, right? And he did what he usually does when he looks after me. He put me in front of the Godfather. Not my Godfather. He put me in front front of the Godfather and he went and got high in his bedroom, right? I don't blame him. He's got a stressful job. So that was happening, and I was watching The Godfather, and I was about 6 or 7 at the time, and I'd seen it a bunch of times, up the faith. But I was watching The Godfather, and I got up to the bit where Michael Corleone shoots the policeman in the throat in the restaurant, right? Now, spoiler alert, sorry, it's a 50-year-old film, should have fucking seen it. But I watched that scene, and every time I see that scene, to this day, I get like a psychosomatic sore throat as well. So I did then, and I was 6, and I went over to my dad's bedroom, and I went, Daddy, I've got a sore throat. And my dad looked down at me, he grunted. He went over to a medicine cabinet, pulled out a big red pill. He put it down, he crushed it up, poured it in my orange juice, stirred it with his finger, and said, down it. So I did, and I was sitting back on the couch, my sore throat fucked off. It was gone, right? I also could not move. I was like stuck to the couch, like drifting in and out of consciousness. I felt a bit numb and a bit fuzzy, right? Years later, I would find out what my dad had given me on that night was an opioid. Yeah, no cowhole, no. And you might be thinking, what type of person would do this to a child? What type of father would do this to their son? My dad is a trained psychiatrist. Yeah, he's a medical professional, you know? It's strange being the son of a psychiatrist that didn't want a son. You know, it's layered, isn't it? It's layered. It's layered. It's bizarre. No, but it's bizarre. It's like, but you know, but the weirdest thing was just like, even as a teenager, knowing your dad is a psychiatrist, you'd say things like, "Dad, I hate you," and he'd be like, "Ha ha ha, you hate yourself." He's right. God damn it. God damn it. But no, it's like, but growing up being the son of a psychiatrist meant that sometimes punishments were really strange. Like sometimes he used to hit me. Not all the time. Once in a blue moon, if I really deserved it. But like, the warning for the punishment was always a lot worse than the actual punishment. For example, a normal parent might say something like, "Stop that, or you'll get a smack," you know? Like, normal instructions to follow. My dad would be like, "Come here. I want to hit you." That's like emotional, psychological, and physical abuse in one. That is efficient, you know? But all the men in my family are a bit bizarre. Like, even my dad's dad, my granddad, he was very, like, he created my dad, of course. He's a weird man. But he like, suffers from dementia now, which is something that we struggle through as a family. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's not the best. But that's not to say that we don't get some gems in our conversation, right? I remember when he met my nephew, his great-grandson, for the very first time. Gorgeous. It was like 4 generations of a family meeting for the very first time. And like a hush fell over the family, and my granddad, he was holding his great-grandson. We were all watching him, and he was holding him, and he smiled, and then he looked up at us and frowned and said, "You know what? You're right. I don't want kids." We shouldn't be here, according to my granddad. Sorry, therapy's going well. Oh, fucking hell. Dad's my therapist. No, he's not my therapist. No, bizarre. But like, my mum was fine with the ginger hair thing. She was just a bit worried about me being burnt, you know, as you normally would be. But the beach was the worst. I love going to the beach, don't get me wrong. Favourite thing to do at the beach when I was about this big was just sprint straight into the sea the second I got there. I'd get about halfway to the sea before my mum would be like, "Come back! You don't know what cancer is yet." So I'd have to go back for my sun cream ritual. I don't know if anyone here has ever seen a mother put sun cream on a ginger child. It's aggressive. It's like watching someone put out a single tea candle with a pressure hose. It's also very confusing. She used to say things like, "Hold still," while she made me more slippery. But eventually I'd be so lubed up, I would slip free and I'd sprint towards that ocean, sun cream flying off my face, like I just escaped a bukkake. And I'd run and I'd trip and fall and roll in the sand and stand up looking like a Scotch egg. And my mum would see me and be like, "Let's do this again." And my dad would see me and be like, "I don't know that kid," and go and sit with another family. But I'm going to leave you with this. Like, my hair's always getting me in trouble, always, right? Just before Christmas, I had really long hair. It was like halfway down my back. And I went to a barber and I asked for a trim. That's like half an inch off. And they basically shaved my fucking head, right? I haven't had a haircut since that time. That's what I'm talking about. But, you know, it's always going to be fucked up. You would not go to... Like, there was a red flag, essentially, and that red flag was my barber. My barber had horrible hair. You shouldn't get your hair cut by a barber with horrible hair. It's probably not going to work out well for you, is it? Just like you wouldn't go to a dentist who had horrible teeth. You know, it's probably not going to work out well for you, is it? Bad advertising. Just like you wouldn't go to the London Metropolitan Police for help, you know? It's not... probably not going to work out well, right? Guys, you've been incredible. Everyone, you've all been incredible. Thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of your night. Bye-bye.